My name is Camille Harper. I'm 32 years old, and if you ask anybody who knows me, they'll tell you I've always been put together. Not happy, exactly. Just neat, polished, controlled. I live in Atlanta now, in a condo that's too quiet. I work as a paralegal for a firm that specializes in family law. Irony, right? My days are filled with divorce filings, custody battles, and restraining orders, and every day I clock out at exactly 5:30, take the Marta home, and sit in silence. I don't watch TV, I don't listen to music, and I never go back to Eastlake Drive. But last week, I got a letter. A real one. Mailed no return address. The envelope was soft with time, like it had been passed through too many hands. Inside was a photo. Just one. It was of a house, my house. The one I grew up in on Eastlake Drive, but the picture was taken recently, not from when I was a kid. The hedges were dead, the paint on the porch was peeling, and the curtains were drawn. On the back, someone had written, "You forgot what you left behind." That's when it started again. The dreams, the shaking, the sound of my sister's voice at night even though she's been dead for 17 years. I haven't spoken about Aria in over a decade. Not to my friends. Not to my therapist, but not to anyone. But that to anyone, it pulled something up I buried deep. Aria was 13 when she died. I was 15. Everyone called it an accident, said it was tragic, said we were just two girls playing in the attic, and she fell down the steps. But that's not what happened. Not even close. And maybe it's time I finally told the truth, because the house on Eastlake Drive is still standing. And someone wants me to remember what really happened in there. I don't know how to talk about my sister without sounding like I'm trying to cleanse myself. Because I wasn't a good sister. Not always. Aria was light, the kind of light that draws attention just by walking into a room. She had these wide hazel eyes that made people stop and listen, even when she wasn't saying anything worth hearing. She was 2 years younger than me, but somehow always seemed older. Like she carried secrets none of us could guess at, or maybe she was just better at hiding things. We lived in that old house on Eastlake Drive with Mama, and sometimes our Uncle Darnell. Daddy left when I was 8, but nobody ever talked about that. Mama said he had weak blood, and that was that. But Mama was something else. Beautiful in a worn-out way, like the kind of beauty people notice but don't approach. She used to braid my hair every Sunday morning, real slow, like she was trying to make it last. But she never hugged me. She didn't know how. With Aria, it was different. She'd brush her cheek, let her curl up next to her, even sing sometimes. Nothing big. But I noticed everything. Especially how Aria never got punished, even when it was her fault. Like the time she let our dog Juno out and blamed me, or the time she broke Mama's framed wedding picture and swore it wasn't her. Mama looked at both of us and said, "It don't matter no more. It's just a photo." Then she walked out of the room. But it did matter, at least to me. Because every time Aria got away with something, it made me feel invisible. And being invisible in your own house, that does something to a person. The attic was our place. Nobody else went up there. It had low ceilings, yellow wallpaper that peeled like sunburnt skin, and a single dusty window facing the backyard. We used to play orphan girls up there. Our version of pretend where we made up that Mama was dead and we had to survive alone in a cold world. Funny, right? Making up that you're abandoned when in real life you already feel like it. But one day everything changed. It was late July. Sticky hot. The kind of heat that made you hallucinate if you stayed still too long. Mama had taken her car to Macon for the day to visit a cousin. Said she'd be back by dark. Ari and I were alone. I remember I had a headache and wanted to be left alone, but she kept bothering me, poking me, teasing. "Camille," she said, waving a Polaroid camera she'd found in Mama's room. "Let's take some haunted pictures, like ghosts and stuff. Maybe we'll see Daddy's ghost." I rolled my eyes. "He's not dead. He's dead to us," she said, smirking. "That was Aria. Sweet 1 second, mean the next." We went up to the attic. She made me stand near the wall while she took pictures. One after another, laughing, saying, "Oh, the spirit of regret is in the room." I didn't laugh. I was tired, sweaty, angry for reasons I couldn't name. Then she said something I've never forgotten. "You're jealous of me, huh?" I stared at her. "What? You're always mad when Mama picks me. Or when people like me more. You hate it." I wanted to deny it. But she was right. I did hate it. That moment. I don't even know how it started. I remember grabbing the camera. I told her to stop playing games. She snatched it back. We wrestled. She screamed, "Let go!" I did. Too fast. Her foot hit the top step. She lost balance. And just like that, she was gone. I heard every bounce of her body down the narrow staircase. When I rushed down, her head was twisted wrong. Her arm bent at an angle I knew was unnatural. And the camera, the Polaroid, was still in her hand. I told Mama it was an accident, that we were playing and she fell. Mama didn't ask many questions. Her face went blank like someone wiped it clean. The police came. The coroner. The whispers in the neighborhood started. "Such a shame. Such a sweet girl. Such a quiet family." I didn't cry at the funeral. Not once. But that night, in the dark, I crept into the attic alone and sat in the same spot where we were before. I took the Polaroid camera and clicked the last photo it had left. When it developed, I saw something I still can't explain. Me standing in the attic, but over my shoulder was Aria, not smiling, not playing, staring straight at me, with the same twisted neck and blank, accusing eyes from the bottom of the stairs. I don't know what I expected when I went back to the house. Maybe boarded windows, caution tape, a for sale sign. But it was just there, untouched. Like time skipped this one address on Eastlake Drive. The same rusted gate. The same cracked sidewalk where Aria scraped her knee learning to ride a bike. Even the wind sounded familiar, whispering through the tall hedges like a warning. I had the old key. Mama never changed the locks. I stepped inside. The air smelled like dust and something sweeter, like perfume that had gone bad, and suddenly I was 15 again. Same peeling wallpaper. Same crooked light fixture in the hallway. My feet instinctively avoided the creaky floorboard near the stairs. I walked into the living room, half expecting Mama to be there sipping coffee and watching reruns on the old box TV. But Mama was gone now. Had been for a year. Stroke took her fast. No funeral, no note. Just a call from a hospital I didn't recognize. I never went to claim her things. I guess that's what this was now. A claiming. I don't know what pulled me upstairs. Maybe habit. Maybe guilt. I opened the attic door and felt the same wave of heat hit me. That familiar, suffocating heat that once made us play orphans in a burning house. The dust was thicker now. The wallpaper had sagged even lower. but the window still let in just enough light to see the outline of our old toy chest in the corner. And next to it, the floorboard. That floorboard, the one we used to hide our secrets under, letters to imaginary friends, hairpins, candy we stole from Mama's purse. I don't know what made me dig at it. Maybe the letter had stirred something up. A need to look. I pried the board loose. Inside was a folded sheet of yellow paper, aged at the edges, like it had been waiting. I unfolded it slowly, afraid of what I'd find. Camille, if you're reading this, it means you came back. I knew you would. You always hated loose ends. You didn't kill Aria. My blood turned to ice. She didn't fall. Not the way you think. I saw the whole thing. You let go of her, yes. But she tripped because she turned back. You didn't push her. She was reaching for you. I saw her eyes. She wasn't scared of falling. She was scared of what she knew. I stopped reading. What she knew. I forced myself to keep going. Aria found something, Camille. Something I hid. She came to me the day before she died, said she wanted to talk. I brushed her off. I thought she was playing one of her games again. But I think she was going to tell you. About Darnell. My stomach flipped. She said she found pictures, in his room, of her and maybe you too. I never looked. I couldn't. But I think she was trying to protect you. And I failed her. The letter ended there. No signature, but it was Mama's handwriting. I knew it. The small cursive loops. The way she dotted her eyes with a tight, pinched dot. I couldn't breathe. Uncle Darnell had disappeared when I was 16. I remembered Mama saying he moved back to Birmingham. I never asked why. I never cared. But suddenly I did. I went down to the basement, something I hadn't done since I was a teenager. The bulb was out, but the flashlight on my phone was enough. The walls were still lined with faded shelves, old tools, broken furniture. But in the far corner was the closet, the one he used to keep locked. As kids, we joked it was full of bones, monsters, a dead body. I never had the courage to open it, but now I did. The lock was rusted. I pulled hard, it snapped. Inside were 3 boxes, all labeled Home Movies 1996-2000. I opened the first. Tapes, VHS, dozens of them, some labeled, some not. The second box had photographs, hundreds. Most were blurry, innocent. Kids in the yard. Birthday cakes. But then I saw one. It was Aria, in her nightgown, not smiling, eyes red, crying. I dropped it. I ran out of the basement. I ran out of the house. I vomited in the grass. All these years, I thought the ghost that haunted me was Aria. But it wasn't. It was the lie. The one Mama helped cover up. The one I helped bury, because I didn't want to know the truth. But Aria knew, and now I had to face the fact that maybe she didn't fall at all. Maybe someone pushed her. Maybe someone was trying to silence her. And maybe Mama knew that too. Because Darnell didn't move. There were no records of him after 2008. Nothing. Not even a death certificate. What if Mama got rid of him? What if Aria's death was the cost? I didn't sleep the night I found the letter. I just sat in my car across the street from the house, staring at the front door like it was going to open on its own, like Mama or Aria or something else might step out and wave at me. The house didn't move. Just sat there under the dim yellow of the streetlight like a grave nobody visited anymore. By morning, I made a decision. I had to know the full truth, even if it killed me. I drove 2 hours to Birmingham the next day. I don't know what I expected to find. Some trail. A new address. A grave. Anything that could tell me what happened to Uncle Darnell after he vanished. But I found nothing. No records under his full name, Darnell Eugene Morgan. No employment history, no utilities, no funeral notice, no criminal case. Just silence, as if the man evaporated the moment he left Eastlake Drive. But people don't disappear like that, not unless someone makes them disappear. The letter, the photographs. Mama's blank face at Aria's funeral, her silence in the days that followed, her refusal to speak Darnell's name ever again. It was all starting to make sense. Or maybe I was finally willing to admit it had always made sense. She didn't send him away, she got rid of him. And for a brief, trembling moment, I felt proud of her. The same woman who never hugged me, never stood up for me. Had she finally done something for us? Back home, I took the tapes I grabbed from the basement to a digitizer shop. Old man behind the counter looked at me like I was nuts. No labels, he said. Could be anything. I know, I said. Could be nothing. I know that too. 2 days later, he called. There's something on tape 54, he said. You might want to come in and see it yourself. The video started with static, then the attic, a hand holding the camera, then Aria, standing by the toy chest. You promise not to tell, she whispered. A voice responded. Low male. Promise, baby girl. She looked uncomfortable, kept wringing her hands. I think Mama knows. The camera zoomed in on her face. I'm gonna tell Camille. The camera shook. Then it turned off. That was it. 15 seconds. 15 seconds that confirmed everything. He'd been filming her, talking to her like he had power. And Aria, she'd been scared. And brave. Braver than me. I brought the tape and the photo to a lawyer. He told me it was too late. The statute of limitations. The lack of living witnesses. The gray areas. But if your mother killed him, he added carefully, you might not want to dig too hard. I'm not afraid, I said. You should be, he replied. You're messing with the dead. But it wasn't the dead that scared me. It was the living. People like Mama, like Darnell, like me. People who keep secrets buried in the walls, hidden behind dusty wallpaper and locked basement doors. I left the lawyer's office and drove straight to the county sheriff. I handed over everything, the tape, the photos, Mama's letter. They reopened the case. At least that's what they told me. But weeks passed, then months, and nothing happened. No news, no charges, no body, just more silence. One night I went back to Eastlake Drive one last time. This time, I brought matches. I stood in the attic where it all started, holding the letter in one hand, the photo in the other. I thought about Mama, sitting at the kitchen table, silent while I sobbed alone upstairs. I thought about Aria, brave and sweet and gone too soon. And I thought about the ghost I'd seen in that Polaroid, still watching me, still waiting for something. I'm sorry, I whispered. I didn't know. I didn't want to know. And then I lit the corner of the letter. Flames crawled up the paper like hungry fingers. I dropped it in the middle of the attic floor, watched it catch the curtains, the rug, the peeling wallpaper. I walked away without looking back. By the time the fire trucks came, the house was already halfway gone. They called it an accident. Old wiring, gas line, some such story. No one questioned me. No one suspected. Because some houses are supposed to burn. The fire was supposed to burn the past away. But some things don't burn. They just smolder beneath the ashes. After the fire, I moved out of town. New apartment, New job, new phone number. But no matter how far I ran, the ghosts ran with me. Not the ghost of area. No, the ghost of that house. The ghost of a family torn apart by silence and secrets. The ghost of a mother who killed to protect a lie. The ghost of a daughter who let it burn. I look in the mirror now. I see someone broken. Someone who's learned the hard way that justice isn't always clean. Sometimes justice means letting go. Sometimes justice means burning down what you love so it can't hurt you anymore. I used to hate Mama for keeping secrets. But now, I wonder if she was trying to protect me, protect us. Even if it meant becoming the monster in the story. Every night, I wait for the phone to ring, for a voice, for a chance to ask, to say, "I'm sorry," to hear, "I forgive you." But it never comes, because forgiveness isn't for ghosts, it's for the living. And right now, I'm still learning how to live. I keep the letter Mama wrote, folded neatly in a box. Sometimes I take it out and read it. Not because I want to reopen wounds, but because I want to remember. Remember that love and hate live in the same house. That the truth is a double-edged sword, and that sometimes the darkest secrets are the ones we carry inside ourselves. I will never go back, but I will never forget. Because some houses stay with you long after the walls fall, long after the fire dies. They stay inside you, waiting, watching. The house on Eastlake Drive wasn't just a place. It was a story of love, of betrayal, of secrets, of a family who lost their way, and of a girl who had to find hers in the ashes.